So you want to play NEERA Wild Mage, allowing you to replace a spell you cast with a random spell from the top of your library. As you can imagine, playing NEERA is quite chaotic, but there are ways to control this chaos. We're going to fill our deck with as many things as possible to guarantee we get certain spells. But first we're going to need some setup. Fortune Teller's Talent lets you look at the top of your library at any time, and as you level it up, helps you cast from the top of your library or cast from anywhere other than your hand. We're also going to want Goblin Electromancer and other cost reductions to make sure we can spam as many spells as we can. And last but not least, we're going to need cards like Brainstorm, cantrips we can cast whenever we want and that allow us to reorder the top of our library. Along with this, we're going to need some extra utility. Archmage Emeritus lets us draw a card whenever we cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, and that includes the free spell we get from NEERA. Gale Waterdeep Prodigy is going to get us the most of all of our spells. Whenever you cast an instant or a sorcery, you can cast a spell of the other type from your graveyard. Now this is obviously very helpful because a lot of our instants are 1 mana, so we'll have plenty of mana left over to cast the ones from our graveyard, and this ability still activates even if we activate NEERA. I also have a bit of an odd option here, Soothsaying, which allows you to shuffle your library and reorder the top of your library by paying mana. While this is a bit of an odd option, hopefully you're only casting cantrips and you'll have plenty of mana left over to look at the top of your library. And of course, we're going to need some late game finishers and support to help us out. Swarm Intelligence allows us to cast every instant and sorcery spell we cast. That includes the cantrip we cast to trigger NEERA, the spell we get from NEERA, and the spells we get from things like Gale of Waterdeep. All around a fantastic card. We're also going to want cards like Ovika Enigma Goliath. This is something you can cheat out pretty easily, and every time you cast a non-creature spell, you get a number of Phyrexian goblins equal to the mana value of that spell. And seeing how many big spells you'll have in this deck, you'll have plenty to work from. And of course, we're going to have some fun with Hit the Motherlode, a sorcery spell with Discover 10. And even if you don't hit that big spell, you're going to have a bunch of treasures to compensate. Once we have NEERA out, a well-timed Arcane Bombardment will allow us to guarantee certain spells get exiled with its random trigger, which means that whenever you cast your first spell each turn, you're going to be able to cast every spell that Arcane Bombardment has exiled. And of course, for some support, we're going to need... No!